Jain children, a warm welcome to another session of chemistry class. I hope you all are well. In the previous class, we discussed about the packing efficiency in simple cubic lattice. Then, what do you mean by packing efficiency? Yes, it is the percentage of total space filled by the particles. Then, what is the value of packing efficiency in simple cubic lattice? Yes, it is 52.4%. Here, note an important point also. Edge length A is equal to 2R for a simple cubic lattice. Then we can write R is equal to A by 2. Now we calculate the packing efficiency in body-centered cubic lattice. In a body-centered cubic lattice, there is a particle at the body center in addition to the particle at its corners. In BCC lattice, there are three spheres in contact with each other along the body diagonal. Means line crossing the body. Let A be the edge length and R be the radius of the sphere. The body diagonal AF is equal to C and the face diagonal FD is equal to B. Then the face diagonal AF is equal to C, which is equal to 4R. Then now let us calculate the body diagonal C and the face diagonal B. Using these values, we can calculate the edge length A of the unit cell. Consider the triangle EFD by using Pythagoras theorem. FD square is equal to EF square plus ED square. B square is equal to A square plus A square. Then B square is equal to 2A square. Then B is equal to square root of 2A. In triangle AFD, not the triangle AFD, AF square is equal to AD square plus FD square. Substitute the values, then C square is equal to A square plus B square. But we know that B square is equal to 2A square. So, C square is equal to 3A square. Then we can write C is equal to square root of 3A. C is a body diagonal. Then C is equal to square root of 3A, which is equal to 4R. You can see in the figure. A is equal to 4R by square root of 3. Then the volume of unit cell is equal to A cube, which is equal to 4R by square root of 3 the whole cube. In body-centered cubic unit cell, the number of particles per unit cell is 2 atoms. Here, each atom is considered as one sphere. The volume of 2 atoms is equal to 2 into 4 by 3 pi r cube because the volume of one sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So we can write 8 by 3 pi r cube. Therefore, packing efficiency is equal to volume occupied by 2 spheres in the unit cell into 100 divided by total volume of the unit cell. Then substitute the values. 8 by 3 pi r cube divided by 64 r cube by 3 square root 3 into 100. Then we get the value 68%. That is, the packing efficiency of BCC lattice is 68%. Therefore, in body-centered cubic unit cell, 68% of unit cell is occupied by atoms and the rest 32% is empty space. Next, we calculate the packing efficiency in HCP or hexagonal close packing and CCP or cubic close packed structures. You know, both are equally efficient with the coordination number 12. So here we calculate the packing efficiency in CCP structure, or this is otherwise known as face-centered cubic structure. In this type of arrangement, the particles are touching one another along the face diagonally. Let the edge length of unit cell be A, the radius of each sphere R, and the face diagonal AC is equal to B. Then face diagonal AC is equal to B, which is equal to 4R, you can see in the figure. Let us calculate the edge length A by applying Pythagoras theorem. Consider the triangle ABC. AC square is equal to BC square plus AB square. Substitute the values. B square is equal to A square plus A square, which is equal to 2A square. Therefore, B is equal to root 2A, which is equal to 4R. Then A is equal to 4R by square root 2, which is equal to 2 square root 2R. That is, A is equal to 2 square root 2R. This is important point. Edge length A is equal to 2 square root 2R. Volume of cubic unit cell is A cube, which is equal to 2 square root 2R the whole cube. Then you know, for FCC lattice, one unit cell consists of 4 atoms or particles. Therefore, the volume of 4 spheres is equal to 4 into 4 by 3 pi r cube, which is equal to 16 by 3 pi r cube. Then packing efficiency is equal to the volume occupied by 4 spheres in the unit cell into 100 divided by total volume of the unit cell. Substitute the values, then we get 16 by 3 pi r cube into 100 divided by 2 square root 2r the whole cube. On substituting the values, then we get the packing efficiency of FCC lattice or HCP lattice or CCP lattice, which is equal to 74%. This means that in HCP or CCP lattice, the 74% particle filled in the unit cell and the 26% vacant space. So, we can conclude that in simple cubic lattice, the packing efficiency is 52%, and in BCC, the packing efficiency is 68%, and in HCP or CCP or FCC lattice, the packing efficiency is 74%. Next, we move on to the another topic of this chapter, imperfections in solids or defects in solids. What do you mean by imperfection or defects? The crystals are in a perfectly ordered arrangement. That is only theoretical. In practice, they do not possess perfectly ordered arrangement. So, any deviation from the perfectly ordered arrangement of atoms or ions or molecules in a crystal is called imperfections or defects. That is, any deviation from the perfectly ordered arrangement of atoms, ions or molecules in a crystal is called imperfection or defects. The defects are of mainly two types, point defects and line defects. First one is point defects. What do you mean by point defects? Point defects can be defined as the irregularities or deviations found in a particular point or an atom. The second one is line defects. It is defined as the irregularities or deviations from the ideal arrangement in entire row of lattice points. In this chapter, we will discuss only about point defects. Next, classification of point defects. Point defects are classified into three types: stoichiometric defects, non-stoichiometric defects, and impurity defects. First one is stoichiometric defects. If imperfections in the crystal are such that the ratio between the cations and anions remains the same as represented by the molecular formula, that means the defect does not affect the stoichiometric composition of the compound. These defects are otherwise known as thermodynamic defect or intrinsic effect. Stoichiometric defects are again classified into two types: vacancy defects and interstitial defects. Both vacancy defect and interstitial defects are generally shown by non-ionic solids. The next one is vacancy defect. In this defect, some of the lattice points are vacant. The crystal is said to have vacancy defect. This generally arises due to the absorption of heat from the surroundings, which results in the decrease in the density of the substance. The next one is interstitial defects. In these defects, some constituent particles are present at the vacant spaces of the crystal structure. These vacant spaces are called interstitial sites. As the number of particles in the interstitial position increases, the density of the crystal also increases. Therefore, interstitial defects increases the density of the substance, while those of vacancy defect decreases the density of the crystal. Now we know that the vacancy and interstitial defects are generally shown by non-ionic solids, but in the case of ionic solids, these defects are known as Schottky defects and Frenkel defects. These Schottky defects and Frenkel defects are very important for the examination point of view. So first we will discuss about Schottky defects. These are generally shown by ionic solids. In these defects, equal number of cations or positive ions and anions or negative ions are missing from the crystal lattice. So, this decreases the density of the solid. But the electrical neutrality is maintained. Listen carefully the small video clip. You can easily understood about the Schottky defects. So, in this defects, equal number of cations and anions are missing in the crystal lattice. Hence, it lowers the density of the solid. Next, types of compound exhibiting Schottky defects. Schottky defect is shown by highly ionic compounds which have high coordination number and small difference in the size of cations and anions. Some important examples are NaCl, KCl, KBr, AgBr and cesium chloride. These ionic crystals shows Schottky defects because of the presence of almost similar size of the cations and anions. The next point is Schottky defects maintain the electrical neutrality of the crystal. The next defect is Frenkel defects. In these defects, the cations are smaller in size compared to anions, so these are dislocated from the original position and goes to the interstitial position or vacant space. So this defect is known as Frankel defects or otherwise known as dislocation defects. This defect is a combination of vacancy defects and interstitial defects because it creates a vacancy defect at its original site and an interstitial defect at its new location. Example for Frankel defects are AGCL, AGBR, AGI and ZNS due to the small size of Ag plus and Zn2 plus ions. So stoichiometric defects are over. Then the impurity defects and non-stoichiometric defects are we discussed on next class. So recollect the points from your memory. The defects are how many types? Yes, 2 types, point defects and line defects. Then point defects are how many types? Yes, point defects are of 3 types, stoichiometric defects, impurity defects and non-stoichiometric defects. Then stoichiometric defects are of how many types? Yes, 2 types in non-ionic solids, that is vacancy defects and interstitial defects. But in the case of ionic crystals, stoichiometric defects are of 2 types. What are they? Yes, they are Schottky defects and Frankel defects. So today's class is over. Thank you.